Someone wrote to me last week. She said it took her 7 years to figure out that her mentor had been farming her. Not training her, farming her. The realization landed when she opened a leadership podcast and heard him explaining a framework, word for word, that she had built in his back office at 2 a.m. the previous spring. She met him at a conference when she was 26. He gave her his card, told her she had something most people in the room didn't, and asked if she wanted coffee. He was warm. He remembered the name of her dog. He sent voice notes on Sundays. For the first year, it felt like winning the lottery. He opened doors. He introduced her to clients. He told everyone he was investing in her. What she did not see at the time was that every introduction came with a quiet condition. She was the one doing the work, and he was the one being seen. The pattern was almost invisible because it was rotated. Pattern 1, credit drift. She would write a proposal. He would forward it to a client with a single line at the top, adding "my read." The reply, days later, came back to him. Her name was already gone from the chain. Pattern 2, calibrated praise. In private, he told her she was brilliant. In meetings, he framed her as "my associate, still learning." When she pushed back once, gently, he laughed and said she was sharp, that he was trying to protect her from looking arrogant before she had earned the room. She believed him. Most people would. Pattern 3, gatekeeping the network. She built relationships through him. Every client knew her face, but his name. When she suggested taking one to dinner alone, he said the client preferred him there. She found out, 2 years later, that the client had asked for her directly. He had declined on her behalf. The thing about a long con is that no single moment is dramatic enough to leave on. Each one is small. Each one has a reasonable surface. He had a story for everything. The podcast. She was on a treadmill when she heard him say the words. Her words. The cadence she used. The example she used. The framework she had stayed up building because he told her his investors needed it by morning. She did not get angry on the treadmill. She got quiet. She went home, opened 7 years of her own files, and started counting. The proposals, the frameworks, the decks, the times he had said he would handle the credit and she should focus on the work. The count took her a weekend. She stopped at 83. She does not speak to him anymore. She does not warn the next protege either. She told me she tried once and was told she was bitter. What she knows now is the oldest pattern in power, Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Green wrote that the people who do this never look like predators. They look like patrons. They sponsor. They mentor. They invest. And then, quietly, they harvest. If your mentor is always present at the wins and absent at the cost, that is not a mentor. That is a farmer. The full 48 Laws of Power guide, every law, every counter, is in my bio. Most people never learn all 48. The ones who do stop being someone else's harvest. Details have been changed. This story is a composite built from patterns I see repeatedly in messages from this channel.